Well, good Sunday morning, everybody. Hope everybody had a lovely weekend. And it is a white Wisconsin. Last weekend it was like so unbelievably cold, as you remember from our last little chit chat. And today it is, I think it must be around 20 something. I haven't officially looked. And a nice light dusting of snow on it and everything. So this is doable weather for me. We went out and, because, we didn't do anything last week. And I thought, it was down to the point where I went to the hometown Super Value that we have in Ellsworth. And I work right in town. So got what I needed to do. But I kind of like to stock up on like my Walmart stuff, I call it. Like toilet paper and paper towels and all that type of stuff. Just because it's more economical. So I said, hey, let's get out of the house. Because after doing that last weekend, and then you go to work and come home and go home and go to work and back and forth, and that's about all you do all week. Let's just get out of the house. Or Friday night we stayed home, and then Saturday said and I thought, oh, we don't have to. I mean, we had enough to get by, but I thought I want to get out of Dodge. I want to get out of the house just to get out. So what did we do yesterday? Nothing, just a regular Walmart run. We went out and had Chinese food for lunch, which was delicious, and then we did our little stops, and I really didn't have a lot that I needed to get per se for the house or personal care products or any of that type of good housewifely stuff that I have to get all the time. So I just like to bebop around the stores, so I just hit all the little end caps. I'm sure there's lots of hundreds and hundreds of you end cap shoppers out there like me, and I just go around and I just go to where I know all the clearance sections are in Walmart and Target, and that's pretty much all I think we went to yesterday. Yeah, just Walmart and Target. And oh my gosh, they had awesome clearance deals. Awesome. At Target, they carry kind of a little bit high-ender type stuff. So I got some really good, like 75% off deals. And not too much at Walmart. Their clearance have been slim pickings, unless you want Christmas decorations and Christmas socks, and I'm trying to wean down my Christmas stuff, so I just stay out of there, because I'll go through there and think, oh, don't even go over there, then you're not even tempted. So I didn't even go over to the holiday section, and Target's holiday stuff is gone. Whoosh, that was cleared out like within a couple weeks, I think, after the holidays, whereas Walmart always has a little section that's going all the time, and they have one whole aisle in my Walmart that's just clearance stuff all the time. But be careful, because if you look at the prices at their clearance stuff, and I know I've done a couple times where I've been over there and it was like a makeup item or I don't know, a skin cream, or I don't know, something like that, something in that order. And then I'm like, oh, is that really a good deal? So I'll walk back over to where that section is in the aisle, and it's like $1 off or something. It's like, but they get you because it's in the clearance aisle. And it's marked clearance, so you think, oh, I'm getting this fantabulous deal. No, you're not. You better watch it, because they'll get you, because they'll put a clearance sticker on there. Sometimes it is only like 20 cents. Come on. But, you get that clearance bug. Or I do. I get that clearance bug. But I have taught myself over many years, is it really a good deal? Is it really clearance? Or is it like old product? They're going to put it over here, mark off a quarter on it, just to see. Somebody will get that, because we know how you people work. I'm sure they do like studies on where and how and whatever to put clearance stuff, so the consumer like me is tempted to get it, but I didn't. So there's a couple things over in the Walmart section that wasn't even a deal, because it took it back, and it wasn't even a deal. But Target, I'm even going to do a little like my Target haul deal, because I got tons and tons of cruelty-free products that were in like the cosmetics. I'm going to take a look at cosmetics and personal care products. That's kind of what I made the haul in yesterday, and a few of the little a couple little clothing items, because Target is huge on carrying cute cardigans, and I have probably I don't know, 4 or 5 vintage cardigans. But I think they're usually like, I got red, black, and then some vintage cardigans that are like the heavy, I call them a Grandma Bean cardigans, because I still have her Grandma Bean cardigan, and it was from like the 70s, and it's like that heavy knit, and it had like pastel knit flowers. They weren't necessarily embroidered per se. It was like, they were like I guess it'd be knit embroidery, I guess, but not like embroidery like we're thinking. It was like the flowers were knit and they were big pink and lavender, and so any sweater like that I always call my grandma bean sweaters. So I have hers and I do wear it, and I have another one, but they're like really bulky and thick, and they don't have that like 1950s you know, cute little cardigan look that I'm looking for. So anyway, Target has all their cardigans were 70% off, which is, I'm not going to wait, because that's about the best you're going to get at Target. Sometimes I think they'll have something a little more than that once in a while. Like where you get it, they'll have hardly anything marked on it. But anyway, I picked them up because in Target, and their sizes are kind of, depending on what Target brand you get, are different. So I got extra large. And sometimes I will buy an extra large just because some of that stuff, the girls wear it really snug, and that's fine if you get a snug looking figure to wear it, but I do not. I want one that is gliding over my body to cover up what I want it to. So anyway, I picked up a couple cute little cardigans and stuff. I'm gonna not even talk anymore about all my awesome Target deals got, because I'm gonna do a little video. So I'm gonna show you, because I love haul videos. I'm addicted to them. When I'll just type in haul for whatever, cruelty free or elf or whatever, or ModCloth or whatever. That's another thing. My ModCloth order came in, so I'm gonna show you all the awesome dresses I have. ModCloth, and I didn't even realize it because I kind of just started shopping ModCloth, and ModCloth is kind of a they have a lot of clothes that are vintage inspired or vintage feel clothes. So I made a haul. My husband got me 2 dresses from, which I picked out and whatever, and he paid me back for, but 2 dresses for Christmas, and I love them. But I was just looking, I'm like, oh, I wonder if some of this other stuff will go on clearance, and they had 70% off. And then if you spent $100, which I did, you got free shipping. So they all came in, and I've tried all of them on. I was going to do a little try on, but it's time consuming to do that. So I'll just show you what I got and kind of show you how I've, because they're vintage inspired, but not vintage. And I'm not a vintage snob where you only can just wear vintage, because you got to be reasonable. Come on, you're not made out of money. You're not going to have just vintage stuff. And I wanted a few outfits that I could wear out and about, that, because some of my vintage stuff, you kind of have to be careful, because I've had things that I've just worn and it looks pristine and looks in great condition, and I've just worn it out and about doing whatever, gone out, and the buttons have cracked, because those old plastics get brittle, or they've ripped on me just from doing normal stuff. I guess I come in the land of 5% spandex or whatever, where everything has that little stretch, but where that vintage, the old vintage stuff doesn't have 5% spandex or lycra or whatever in their cotton. So there is no give. So I have ripped one dress for some reason. It's the one I keep happening to, but I think that between the buttons and the material is thinner, and it's not as sturdy. Probably back in the day that cotton was a nice sturdy cotton, but it's older. It's from 1950, so what we're looking at, 50 plus years old on some of my clothes, and they don't take the wear and tear. And I kind of want to save it for not more special events or whatever, but just where I won't worry if I'm out and about and doing stuff where, like, I'm shopping perhaps, or you know how you are bending and reaching. And I was crawling to look under some bottom shelves yesterday at Target, because they had stacked all the shelves and it was shoved way in the back, so I was on my knees. And I thought, well, I'm glad I didn't have my vintage dress on. So anyway, what I was saying is I like to mix it up. So I found these, and they were so cute, and I think I got 5 dresses, I think, and they came to like $110 for 5 of them. I think that was it. I'll show you when I do my little show and tell of my dresses. So I like to have things that are vintage feel or vintage inspired or whatever, and then I will vintage it out with, the dress might not be vintage, but I will wear vintage inspired shoes, or I will wear one of my true vintage hats or vintage brooches, or just to give it that vintage feel, because I don't want to. And it's not like I don't got 8 million of them, but I thought, you know, those clothes have made it this way. They need a little love and care. You know, you can't just wear them. We're rough on our stuff. You know, we're used to everything being, you know, wadded up, throw it in the washer and stuff. And, you know, your vintage stuff, you got to be more careful, and you can't do that. And you have to hand wash some of it and drip dry it and iron it. And there's more. That's why I give it to the housewives back in the day, because that's a full-time job. And if you are doing that today, I mean, that's a full-time job being a housewife. I mean, my house probably wouldn't be in the shambles if I had those few days to do stuff, because, you know, it's a lot to take care of your family and your house and the bill. I mean, you can have, if you're organized, I don't know if I would be an organized stay-at-home housewife. I would hope to think that I would be, but I don't know. I know back in the day when I was off on maternity leave with both my kids and I was home with the kids, your day is full. Your day is full of taking care of kids, and then you have the more time, so you're making the nicer, bigger, better meals, the homemade meals. It's not the quick hurry up, throw something in deal. I had one day for my laundry, and I guess you had more organization stuff. So when the weekend comes, or came, when I was, like I said, at home back in the day with my children when they were just born, you had the weekend time to spend quality time with your family. You know, all of us full-time working gals, what do you do? Saturday, for most of us, I would say, is our running day. We're doing our laundry, we're doing our house cleaning, we're doing our store runs, our Walmart runs, our Target runs, our Super Value, our Econo Food runs, and doing all that. You can get a little fun stuff in there also. And then Sunday, for me, is my finish-up day. Although, usually it's my laundry day. It's, I start it Saturday, and then I don't like doing laundry every night of the week. I come home from my job, and I am wiped out. My job is can be very demanding, and can be very taxing and stressful. So when I come home, I'm pretty well wiped out. Get something together for dinner and do just a couple things, and I am out. I'll read a book. It's time you get home. Get all your stuff done, and sometimes you run late. You don't get home when you want. Where's it rolling with this? And you get that stuff done. You're looking at probably pushing 7:30, 8 o'clock, and then you got enough time to sit down and do my YouTube stuff, or look at that, or you know, watch something on TV. Like Sunday night, tonight's Downton Abbey. There's only 2 left. What am I gonna do when Downton Abbey's done? All of my shows are going bye-bye. I don't know, and it's something you look forward to every Sunday night. Anywho, so time you do all of out of the bag. You do that, your evening's done. Time you get home and take care of what you need to and stuff, and you have like a couple hours just to, you have to have that. You can't just roll. You gotta take a little bit of time for yourself. And just kind of, you gotta decompress, and you gotta unwind, and have that cup of tea in the evening, or whatever your beverage is for the evening, or hot cocoa or coffee or glass of wine perhaps, if it's a humdinger day. And you need to decompress and spend a little bit of time on yourself, for yourself, just relaxing, so you can be the best that you can be the next morning when you're up and at it. You don't feel like did I even go to bed last night? So, there is a lot of work for anybody who is a stay-at-home mom, because there's lots of stuff done that are working gals that are 40 hours plus. You just don't get it done, or you feel frazzled, or you feel guilty because you didn't get to spend the time you wanted to. So I lift my cup to the stay-at-home ladies, because I think that's just awesome that you can do it, because that is a big job, and it's nice to be able to have that time to spend the time with your family and doing those things and doing the extra special things. I totally enjoyed it back in the day when I was off for my 2 boys when they were little, to have that little extra time, and life wasn't so hurried. I mean, it was a full day, but you didn't feel that type of stress that you're not getting done what you need to get done, or you're missing something. So how did I even get off on that? I guess I started talking about my ModCloth dresses and my vintage dresses, and taking care of stuff, and all that type of stuff. My mom always had the ironing board set up back in the thing, and I barely get that ironing board out. I have my vintage stuff. I'll do my whatever and wash it, and then I'll have a big pile of I'll have it hanging up on my vintage stuff that I have to iron. But my mom always had that ironing board. Now I'm a lazy ironer. If something's got a few wrinkles, I'll throw it in my dryer with a wet towel and some bounce sheets and get the wrinkles. But it isn't that nice crispness that you like, you know, when you want something really nice, you get that ironing board out, but you don't have time for that. So anyway, I don't know what I'm rambling on today. Probably because I don't have much anything to say. Just my ModCloth dresses, which I'm going to show you, and how I kind of accessorize them, and then my little haul that I did today. and a little vintage, not vintage thing. You know, my bathroom is all vintaged out and stuff, and I wanted to keep it as vintage as I can. But I have to think also for somebody who gets up and I hate mornings. Oh Lord, I hate mornings. I don't like mornings. I will never like mornings. You either are a morning person or you are not a morning person, and I don't think you ever learn to be a morning person. I think you just deal with it. I guess you deal with it, but I don't think you ever become, I'm a morning person. No, no, not in all my years. I can go to bed early and be real rested, and I still hate getting up in the morning. It's just the way I am. So anyway, I take a sip of coffee. Oh, excuse me. That was a loud one. Loud gulp. When I was doing all my little shopping stuff, I came across these two little things for my bathroom, and I'm going to have to lose two of my little vintagey type baskets, and it's going to lose my vintage feel a little bit in my bathroom. And I did keep the baskets in case I can't take the non-vintageness of the look. But since I'm not a morning person, I found these cute little things to help get organized in the morning, which I will show you, but not for breakfast. There'll be another little thing I'm going to show you. So anyway, that's it. I just did a lot of clearance shopping yesterday and all the necessities that you need to, and a little lunch with my son. And just relaxed last night, just watched a little bit of TV and watched a little bit of Saturday Night Live. I think I must have fallen asleep because I don't quite remember it ending, so I don't usually stay awake for things. I just don't make it. It's like, oh, what was into the, like, oh my gosh. And sometimes it will be like 10 minutes left of something. And I'm like, really? You couldn't have stayed awake 10 more minutes to see the end of that? So sometimes I don't, and then you can't find it. It's not on Netflix. You can't rewatch it. Somebody else doesn't know the movie because it's some old thing. So then I will Google it because I want to know how that thing ended, because maybe it'll be, who knows? Or what happens is you completely forget about the movie. And then whatever, I guess you wouldn't care anyway, but... So anyway, I drifted off to sleep during SNL last night. That was my evening. So I was out, I think, by, I don't know, between 11 and 12, somewhere in that time frame. And just had a relaxing evening and had made a nice pot of tea. I like to have tea. I like the ritual of making the tea. You know, you boil the water, and then you put your tea bags in and you let it steep. And it's not like a quick little cup of here you go, or microwave that water in the microwave and put the tea bag in. I like the whole process of making a true pot of tea, boiling the water, and then I have the cutest little, if you look at my Instagram or Facebook page, I have a picture of it, but it's a vintage teapot warmer. So I boil it on the stove with one little pot. And then when it's boiling, put my tea bags into my little pretty china pot, and then I pour my hot water in there, and then you have to let it steep for 3 or 4 minutes or so. And then I have a little crystal, it's a little crystal teapot keeper warmer, and you put a little tea light candle in there, and you set your little pot on there. So then I bring that into the living room while I'm watching or doing or reading, and have it right there for me, so I don't have to get up and get it or microwave it. It's nice, and it stays nice and hot. The little tea candle keeps it just hot enough so it's a good drinking temperature. So that's what I did last night. I made my big exciting evening was making a pot of tea. But I did take some pictures for you so you could see that it's the cutest little teapot. I think I bought it at a little thrift store or something. And then one of my Grandma Beans little vintage teacups, and it's a mismatched one, so that's the one I use all the time because if something happened to it, 'cause I have quite a few of her teacups, and they're all sets. And I would, if this one ended up breaking, I would use one of those, but I kind of like to keep those in my little china hutch. So nothing much with me, just a little this and that and the other thing. I'm getting ready for the end of January. We got 1 weekend left, and we're into February. Whoosh, smooth sail into the spring, I say. Is it Groundhog's Day in February too? Or is that March? I don't know. So that'd be coming up too. Like that really matters. But anyway, so that's it. That's all that's going on with me. And everybody have a great week. And I guess I really said a lot of nothing this morning. But thanks for having coffee with me, and take care until we have a little coffee again or see each other. Bye everybody.